Lorenzo, you have been put to vigil. You have faced the counsel of both the peers of our realm as well as any others and wisdoms that can be imparted upon you. Knowing what you know, we would have your answer.
Upon the advice of good counsel and upon my meditations before Almighty God, I accept.
Their Majesties would have before them their Order of the Pelican. Is there a companion of the Order of Chivalry to speak for this candidate?
Yes, Your Majesties. Your Majesties, noble guests, I am Baron Sir Sterling de la Rosa. This man before you has known me for a long time, and I've known him since the time I've stepped onto the field. Blade has been placed in my hand. The education he has given me was taught by his studies of master. And from my understanding of his blades and knowledge that he wields oh so well, he has touched many of us in the field. Lorenzo, you studied under the master of your blade, and any time you step on that field, carry that with you. Win, lose, or draw, you stay within that history period, and you force it upon us. And I love learning from you that way. You bring to this what we do, being in periods. And for that, Your Majesties, because he holds it so deep, my respect and honor, I thank you very much this day, and I say he is my superior. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there a companion of the Order of the Laurel to speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, good gentles all, I am Sabine de Cabriant, and it is my honor to speak on Lorenzo's behalf. As a member of the Order of the Laurel, I say unto you that he, in my mind, is the definition of a Renaissance man. I have watched him immerse himself in the works of the old masters of the art of defense, delighting in studying and promoting their techniques, even if it sometimes cost him doubts that he might otherwise have won if he were not so passionate about learning to fence as a true and perfect Italian gentleman. I have passed many happy hours listening to him recite poetry. I have noted his chivalrous conduct as a champion of my barony. I have been swayed by his philosophical arguments in courts of love. I have admired pages he painstakingly inscribed with his own hand. I have heard scrolls read in court for which he crafted the words. To sum up, this man before you has the flair of a swordsman, the manners of a courtier, the mind of a scholar, the heart of a poet, and the soul of an artist. It is an excellent thing you do today, and I am so glad to be here and to bear witness on his behalf. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a companion of the Order of the Rose to speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I carry the words of Countess Marguerite Indian Laughlin, who speaks of courtesy for the rose. Lorenzo, Shall I compare thee to a chatelaine? Thou art more stalwart and more clement. Rough demos used to teach and entertain stir the soul with sword and flying pennant. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, sometimes too wet, too dark, with sun bedimmed. But every fair thy generous teaching signs new eastern fencers who can kill or live. Despite thy fearsome skill with pen and blade, thy secret heart protects a gentle spirit, as all the roses in this court arrayed attest thy courtesy that each may hear it. For what is clear for any eye to see, this man's a more than worthy peer to me.
Is there a companion of the Order of Defense to speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I carry the words of Mercedes Vera de Calafia, companion of the Pelican, master of defense, and tiger of the East. On Mercedes' behalf, I am here to speak to the Order of Defense, and among our duties, we speak of the virtue of perseverance. If we are lucky enough to live long enough, all of us will experience the inevitable betrayal of our physical abilities. Our nobility lies in how we respond to that. Lorenzo, who has done so much for so long, faced this moment by gathering himself together and pressing forward, continuing to provide service and persevere where others would have faltered. Lorenzo has faced hardships with the heart of a tiger and a will forged with the same steel with which he fights so well. Lorenzo is truly my peer, both in deed and word. If there were ever an embodiment of perseverance, he stands here before you now. Thank you for recognizing his good and noble heart. So saith Mercedes Vera de Calafia.
Is there a companion of the Order of the Pelican to speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Master Thomas de Castellan, and today that is my honor. There are many reasons to serve. And when I look at Lorenzo, I can tell you that he serves because he simply knows no other way. In his heart has never occurred that there is anything else you could do but give of yourself. When I look at him, I am a little ashamed of myself and tremendously inspired. Your Majesties, he is my peer.
Well, is there a medallion?
There are, I believe, 4.
We got that out of the way fast. Medallion the first.
Medallion of the First is a reproduction of a 1590s Elizabethan pendant. Not made by me, acquired by me through lawful means.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Medallion of the second. The Tadcaster household medallion that I've been the wearer of for approximately half an hour. And what a noble half an hour it has been served and kept as well. Thank you.
Medallion the third.
This is from Rosie Posey.
That's a lot of sweat.
And last but not least, a full shaded estate made by Lady Eleanor Redpath because he once said he'd like one.
Alright, we're gonna go through these one at a time. We have Punch. There's the Pelican, Silver Rapier, Golden Rapier, Tadcaster, Crescent. Yeah, it's full. It's full.
No, there is one space remaining. He knows what for.
Keep it. How many? Just one. Okay, do your work.
Made by Lady Eleanor Redpath.
No, they're both like that. There you go. What happens from here is on you. Yep, that's it.
Your Majesty, before your throne, which are venerable, I dedicate my life, my fortune, my property, and my reputation to the defense and to the growth and to the prosperity of the East and their rulers as they stand in honor.
I, Ryard,
And I, Andrashi,
hear your words.
and know them to be true,
In exchange, we offer to you our strength,
and our protection,
our wrath.
and our affection,
As the karmic wheel turns, may your opposition be crushed beneath.
and may you rise to prosperity,
For as long as dragons beckon at our doors,
and the sun rises in the east.
we
Bind
bind ourselves
ourselves
to you.
Vergugin and Andrashi, King and Queen of the Easterners, to all officers, ministers, and subjects, and to all other people, as well within this our realm as elsewhere, under our obedience and jurisdiction or otherwise, unto whom these our letters patent shall be seen, showed, or read, greetings. Wherefore, our trusty and well-beloved servant, Lorenzo Gorla, has for a score more of years labored well, faithfully, and diligently for the benefit of the realm and its persons. And wherefore, the said Lorenzo has proven himself to be a man of good countenance, gentle bearing, and wise counsel, in all ways fit, noble, and good companion. Know ye therefore that we, greatly tendering the honor of our nation, the goodwill of our people, and the benefit of our realm, and willing and wishing the encouragement of the said Lorenzo, and others of our loving subjects in their good enterprises, have of our special grace certain knowledge and mere motion, given and granted, and by these presents for us, our heirs and successors, do decree and ordain the following. Item, we do hereby give and grant unto the said Lorenzo the station, estate, status, and renown of the Order of the Pelican, along with such privileges, liberties, jurisdictions, franchises, and hereditaments of whatsoever kind, nature, and quality as are held under law by members of the order aforementioned. Item, we do further instruct the said Lorenzo to bear upon his person the emblem and sigil of the order aforenamed, and forbid him upon pain of our displeasure from appearing before our court without the same. Item, we do by these presents for us, our heirs and successors, order, ordain, constitute, establish, and declare that the said Lorenzo shall bear henceforth as a symbol of his station the following arms without hindrance or distraint: azure, a fess bretest argent between 6 covered cups or. Item, and so the said Lorenzo may be assisted in case of need with all of his rightful endeavors, we further instruct, order, and ordain, and decree for all good persons of the baronies, provinces, shires of the East, and all others the subject of our realm, that they give and afford the said Lorenzo all assistance and succor that may be necessary. In witness whereof, we have caused these our letters to be made patent through the force of our signs upon 24 September in the 57th year of the Society, being the feast of St. John the Baptist. Words by Alice McIntosh. Scrolled by Vittorio Antonelli. companion of the Order of the Pelican.
Vivat!